Why hasn't anyone taken them up on that? I actually tweeted this last week, wondering why it hadn't happened.
You know you're doing something right when you can
superchargers
tweet
are being made available to other
Elon
electric
Musk,
cars, but just the fact that this is
and he replies to you, and you visited the factory and everything else. Marques Brownlee just guys, something a bit different for the channel today, but in fact, when you deeply look at it, it's not actually that different, because the title of today's video is called Dear Electric Cars. I'll show you guys right there. Dear Electric Cars by the one and only Marques Brownlee. Okay, so that's the video we're about to check out. It was released on the 29th, and I'm checking it out obviously because I'm an investor in Tesla, as you know, and it's good to do your homework and to be up to date. Why? Well, I'll explain to you guys why. The purpose as to why I do this is so that when there's a major sell-off, I don't just panic and start selling off, because why? I want to be super invested in the company, okay? And my chosen company is obviously Tesla for my major position, as you guys would know already, but I want to be ready just in case there's a sell-off. You don't start panicking and making irrational decisions. So hence to why we learn more and more and more, including some possible competitors that might even be joining the EV space as well, so just we can, you know, so you can sort of suss out some things and you're just up to date essentially. All right, so that is today's video. Be sure to watch it from the beginning till the end to be able to extract as much value as possible from this video. With all of that being said, guys, YouTube is Ronnie MP. Whoop!
It's RonnieMP.com.
Want to join my free gift card giveaway? Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on the notification. Then let me know that you subscribe down below. That's it. Hey yo, what's good? If you've not heard, it's your boy Ronnie MP. Thank you and welcome to a brand new video of It's Ronnie MP, the show where we bring you guys a bunch of financial videos suggested by you guys and you guys only. So if you're brand new to the channel, then be sure to absolutely destroy that subscribe button. Very, very important. In fact, a large amount of you guys aren't actually subscribed. I know because I read the analytics and I can see. So be sure to destroy that subscribe button. It only takes a few seconds, as well as that notification bell. And yeah, there we go. Okay, and it was for free as well, so it didn't actually cost you a damn thing. But whilst you're in the comment section anyways, near that description box, you'll see there's a link there for Trading 212. All you need to do is deposit £1 into Trading 212 and they will give you a share that's valued up to £100. Okay, if you ask me, free money is always better. In fact, when my fiance makes food for me, I can tell you right now, and when compared to when we, I don't know, somehow magically find some free food, I don't know, maybe in a sibling's house or neighbor's house, or maybe not neighbor, but you get what I mean, right? Whenever you're having free food, it has a certain taste to it. Why? Because it was free. You didn't have to pay for it. So that's the beauty of that, guys. Be sure to sign up to Trading 212 so you can get your free cash right now, or your free share that you can withdraw for, you know, for cash. All right, so we're about to get into this video anyways, because I'm super excited to see what the EV market, some of the competitors will be, or what Marques Brownlee has to say about the EV market. So let's get it right now. Hey,
what's up? MKBHD here. Okay, I'm gonna have to oversimplify some things in this video, but I think it's necessary to get my point across. So at this point in 2020, there are two types of electric vehicles.
In 2020, two types of electric vehicle: Teslas and everything else.
Everything else.
I knew it.
And I have messages for both. And I'm one of those people that honestly believes that electric cars are the future of cars.
1000%.
But they're just that. They're the future. And so there's a lot of work that both have to do to get there. Also, apparently Apple is also working on an electric car that could launch sometime.
So I did do some research on this. Apparently Apple are planning on launching a EV as well, so an electric vehicle. But however, prior to this, what I knew or what I suspected is that they were going to focus more on the software side of things. So basically working on a deadly software that is just amazing, and then follow that path rather than actually manufacturing the vehicles themselves, and, you know, having to now build a new infrastructure. You know, it's one thing designing software and making phones, and which is super complex, by the way, if you didn't know, but it's another a different beast when you actually have to manufacture these vehicles, and you have to take, you know, production cost, and then hiring of, you know, all of the employees, and not just any employees. You need skilled people to be able to action all of these, you know, crazy stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So it's not easy, okay? But I'm super curious as to now seeing, look at the headline for this. It says Apple will reportedly start building an EV with a breakthrough battery, which I don't know, I'll see when I believe it, in 2024. So we're still quite a few years off, but however, I'm excited for what the future holds. So let's carry on with the video anyways and see.
Couple of years, likely with some sort of high-end battery tech. Sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Very expensive too.
Very.
Also, are we sure it's going to come with a charger? But seriously, jokes aside.
But man said, are we sure is it going to come with a charger? If you don't know the reference, he's referring to the iPhone 12 not actually coming with a charger, which I had mine. I returned it, and already I've got a positive ROI, okay, because I returned it. I purchased it for £1,099. Now my gains total are already within the £1,200, and that money that I used to purchase the phone, I reinvested it, and now I've made, basically I've purchased a free iPhone. Amazing. The power of investing. I know, right?
Working on an electric car for somewhere in the next decade. They won't be alone. A lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of the biggest in the world are working on electric cars to be at the forefront of their innovations for the next little bit.
So exciting.
As someone who's been driving a lot of electric cars and who lives with one and all of its flaws and all of its upside and feels strongly about the whole thing, I've got a lot of messages. So let's start off with this. Dear electric cars.
Electric cars, nice.
If you're coming out today with a premium electric car with 200 miles of range.
Oh, it's already late.
You're already behind. So
it's already
range is,
late.
of course, super important. And to me, it's the #1 baseline indicator for just how good the electric car program is within a certain manufacturer. It's like a baseline metric. So today, right now, the highest end electric cars are going, 250 to 400 miles on a full battery, right? So the king of the hill right now is Tesla's long-range Model S. That's a 100 kilowatt-hour battery, 402 miles. And that's right now, today, in 2020. People are driving that car right now. So when someone comes out and says, we're going to launch a new electric car sometime in the future, maybe in a year or two, and it'll have 200 miles of range. To some, that number sounds pretty good, but to me, when I hear 200 miles, that's still pretty low. That's low enough that I still...
So the whole thing with battery power, or with the range, is you want to be able to match combustion engines and whatnot. You want to be able to drive your electric vehicle and not have to worry about where is the next charging, like where am I going to charge, and not having to plan your route and say, okay, we're going to, instead of taking the M1 per example, we're going to use this other motorway because it's the closest one to be able to charge, and if just in case we lose power, you don't want to do none of that. Okay, and in fact, I believe there was a story of a couple. It took them 9 hours to travel like some silly distance. Why? Because they were in an electric car, and the power, basically they arrived at a charging dock or port, wherever they're called, and they weren't able to charge because the cars were full, and obviously it wasn't just Tesla's superchargers. So, you know, and plus other cars aren't allowed. Not that they aren't allowed. Tesla says that other cars are allowed to charge or to use their supercharger to be able to charge up their EVs. But however, other manufacturers aren't using it. I don't know if it's a competition thing or whatever it is, but I don't know. We'll see if Marques mentions it as well. But it's just something to think about, you know?
Energy. Thinking about remembering where and when I'm going to charge this thing. Think about this. The median range for a full tank of gas for a typical gas car is about 400 miles today.
Okay.
With the best ones getting about 600, 700 miles on a full tank of gas.
Which is insane.
That is what you eventually want electric cars to match. Maybe even do a little bit better since there's less gas stations. So that's why you see Tesla's already announced plans for a truck that'll do 500 plus miles next year, and then a triple motor Model S that'll go 520 miles, and a two-door roadster that'll eventually do 620 miles.
Days. 620 miles in an electric vehicle. Do you know, guys, how insane that is? Like, only 10 years ago, even a concept of such a thing is just like ludicrous, like 620 miles. But in a few years, we're going to be able to see the Tesla Roadster do 620 miles. Okay, and what, 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds, faster than any vehicle out there, whether it's electric or not. That is something to be concerned about. If you make cars, you should be shaking your boots right now. Honestly speaking.
All of that comes from years of R&D priority on battery tech, drivetrains, efficiency,
the important things that actually matter.
All the tech in the cars, aero, weight reduction, all of that stuff, to ultimately achieve the same level of convenience as a gas car. And speaking of gas,
it probably go beyond it, maybe. I don't know. We know. Never know.
Gas stations are pretty underrated. Like, the electric car is only half the story.
Marques, Brownlee out here hitting the points.
To charge these cars is the other half of the story, and it's arguably just as important as the car itself. It's something we kind of take for granted, but the confidence of being able to just run your car down to nearly zero
anywhere,
and just know that there is going to be a gas station somewhere within a mile or two of you, probably, is kind of amazing. It's huge. And so in this world of electric cars that obviously doesn't exist yet, so it's being built, and uniquely, it's being built often by the car maker themselves. So Tesla building and owning their supercharger network, and actually Electrify America is owned by Volkswagen Group. And so there's more popping up every day. And so my bold hot take is, I think this part of it needs to be a collaborative effort. And look, I know that's a lot more complicated than it sounds.
That's an interesting take, but then again, it's going to get, I don't know. I don't know if everyone are going to jump on board, but I don't know. You never know. But right now, it seems like a lot of car companies have too much pride, you see, so they don't want to build vehicles that are able to charge with Tesla supercharger, because I don't know, maybe they just feel like it just reduces the brand identity. I don't know, maybe the value. I don't know what it is, but it's quite interesting point that Marques is mentioning there.
Easier said than done, but think about this. At this very moment in time, I find it pretty much impossible to recommend an electric car for daily use that is not a Tesla.
Makes sense.
You plan on doing any road trips.
Makes sense.
And this is a mostly U.S. perspective. And that's because Tesla's large and growing supercharger network here is literally as important to the car as the range or the build
That's a
quality,
lot.
literally
Goodness me.
feature. Honestly, maybe even more so.
That's
fact,
very
I've
impressive.
said this in the past, and I'll go ahead and say it on record in this video again. If the Porsche Taycan could use Tesla superchargers, I would rather have that than a Model S, to be honest.
Nah. I mean, I could understand most likely why he's saying that. Maybe it's because of the quality of the finish, the interior. Obviously, it's a Porsche, so you know the interior is going to be ooh la la. It's definitely going to be high quality compared to the finishing of a Tesla, I would say. All right, because they focus more on the performance of the vehicle. Rather than like, does the interior look like amazing and all the different stitches and all of that nonsense. It's not nonsense if you've got the money to be able to afford it, but they want to basically accelerate basically for the whole world to forget about the cars that we use right now, combustion engines, and focus more on EV, so electric vehicles, which are definitely the future of clean energy. Hence to why they acquired Solar City and da-da-da-da. We can go on for days and days and days. So I'm not too sure, but maybe the Roadster will change things. Maybe the quality in the Roadster, the interior is going to be top notch. I don't know. We never know. But for what we do know for right now is Tesla is more focused on performance. Hence to why they're just knocking down each and every single barrier or quote unquote walls that are in front of it. So it's a very interesting one as well. I do have to say, so far this video is absolutely amazing. So be sure to smash that like button if you're finding value in this video. As I always tell you guys, we analyze and watch and review these videos to be able to pick out someone's brain and learn from it. Whether it's a portfolio review that we're doing, beginner, advanced, or whatever it is, we are literally trying to learn as much as possible and see what we can implement for ourselves. It's never to either look down on someone. I ain't got time for that, and I'm not here for that. But what I am here for is to be able to accelerate learning, not only for myself but for you, and bring things that in front of you that I believe that are worth or that are valuable, and things that I find valuable as well. Okay, so we can all grow and accelerate together.
Obviously, build quality inside, but the way the car drives, it's still a 4-door with plenty of space, and the software is good enough. I don't use autopilot all that much. I would rather have a
So look at the quality. Quality is top notch. It's a Porsche.
Recently about a couple who got their shiny.
He did mention it. This is amazing.
Went for a road trip, and it took them 9 hours to go 130 miles.
So it's I love it. I love the fact that he mentioned this. So the title of it is, why did it take 9 hours to go 130 miles in our new electric Porsche? To cut the long story short, is there weren't enough charges, okay? And it took them 9 hours, guys. 9 hours. That's a very, very, very long time. Simply because why? They had to plan their route. Obviously, we all know the name of the game, right? Plan your route. If you haven't got a Tesla, that is, plan your route and make sure there are charges. Otherwise, if your car dies, then you're going back home in a taxi if you're lucky. So I'm assuming, I don't know if they ended up selling it or what, but yeah, that's an ouch.
Hours.
Ouch.
Basically, it came down to them having an unlucky streak of like a bunch of chargers in a row they visited, either being out of service or slow or full or whatever.
That
like
must
they couldn't
suck.
see that stuff on the map because there was no guarantee. You were just sort of going where you thought you could find a good one. And they even passed some shiny new Tesla superchargers and couldn't use them because the Porsche is not compatible.
That's a shame.
But imagine if it was. That would be, in my opinion, a game changer for that car. I could actually recommend cars like that way more often. So
he's mentioned something very important right there, which I understand why he mentions that. He could recommend that Porsche if there were enough, basically charging ports and whatnot, and you were able to get charged pretty much anywhere, such as what Tesla have been trying to do for years now, which is paying off dividend, because not only do they have cars on the road now, they have places where you could charge them, and it's not super far where you have to drive out to a long distance to be able to charge your car. I believe this will be the game changer if cars like, imagine Ferrari, obviously for the high-end people, right? Ferrari designing the same thing, an EV vehicle where you're able to charge it pretty much anywhere. That would change a lot, I believe anyways. So I believe right now it's a good time, which Tesla hasn't changed their strategy, which is just to innovate and to just come up with new, creative, better ways to do things. I believe this is the advantage that they have. The fact that if you're an engineer and you work for Tesla, and even if you're an apprentice or even if you have a junior position, Elon Musk himself emailed the staff mentioning that it's a long email, but just to summarize it, he emailed everyone, the managers, everyone, mentioning basically, if I hear some of you guys who are in higher positions, such as managers, are not listening to the newcomers or apprentice or juniors, and you're not taking their ideas into consideration simply because they're at a low level comparing to where you guys might think you are, then you risk being in major trouble with Elon Musk. Why is he doing this? Well, this is why most engineers that are graduating, they want to work at Tesla, because they can freely express their creativity. This is why they've got tech that is just beyond our years, okay? They're literally I believe they're even potentially even 10 years ahead of time, and I'm saying this because I believe there are plenty of things that Tesla aren't actually revealing. As we know, the best players in a game are the ones that don't actually reveal all of their strategies. They might show you one hand which will lead you further and further away, because on the other hand, they've just got the killer cards that will just end the game right there. So I don't think Elon Musk is silly enough to reveal all of his cards and say, you know what, this is everything, here you go, take it and leave it. So the future is very, very exciting right now. Believe me, we are living in the golden age, and I tell you what, it's amazing to be alive right now, despite what 2020 has provided us. But I'm telling you guys, any day above ground is a blessing, so you should be definitely happy.
Trips. Remember road trips? I eventually think we'll get back to that, but because I need to go to an ultimate tournament or go visit family in another state, I literally cannot recommend or buy for myself any electric car that's not a Tesla because the charging networks aren't quite there yet for any of them. So here's my question. Why aren't more electric cars compatible with Tesla's supercharging network?
What's a good question, Marcus?
Overall, right? It would be fast charging available for your car in a bunch more places.
Yep.
It's a way easier to recommend your car.
Yep.
What is there? Maybe there's some sort of licensing fees or some sort of hidden terms that Tesla's built in. They said they've made it available. Why hasn't anyone taken them up on that? I actually tweeted this last week, wondering why it hadn't happened.
Oh, don't tell me he responded. All right, I'm going to have to pause it right there and just clap, okay? I have to clap and give that a major clap. You know you're reaching levels, or you are levels, when you're able to tweet and Elon Musk, what does he do? He responds. Okay, that is absolutely insane. So Marcus mentions here in his tweet, we'll read it out since we're taking time anyways for today. I don't want to rush none of this, because when you're doing your research based on Tesla, you best do it thoroughly. Why? Because there's a lot of money at stake. So it says, serious question. Why don't more electric car makers take up Tesla on their offer to use the supercharging network? Question mark, obviously. Incompatible tech, hidden fees, pride, blah, blah, blah. There's got to be a good reason. And guess what? Elon Musk responded, just like we said, says they are. Although it's kind of low key, but Tesla superchargers are being made accessible to other electric cars. Full stop. So that then makes us think, really, we're not stuck, because you're like, my summary, honestly speaking, my summary is that it's just pride. It's just pride. I think like Mercedes-Benz or BMW, the e-trons and all of the trons and blah blah blah, all of these cars that are coming up with like cars that are just nowhere near Tesla's level right now. They just don't want to be seen at the Tesla charging networks, just chilling there, and you see a Mercedes or BMW. It seems like they're borrowing. It seems like they're not able to do it themselves, so they have to borrow. And maybe that's just it right there. Maybe it's just not a good feeling, and they just want to stay far away from it. So, I mean, can you blame them? I don't know.
Are being made available to other electric cars, but just the fact that this isn't common yet is fascinating to me. I'm not saying make your car dependent exclusively on superchargers. No. That's a bad idea.
Yes.
But just adding that compatibility on top of the existing compatibilities already. Wouldn't that be great? But hey, this may never happen. Maybe this is like me asking Apple to add a USB-C port alongside the iPhone's Lightning port.
What a good point.
Just because, hey, it would make it compatible with way more things. It's only a benefit to your product, right? But they obviously have dreams of a Lightning ecosystem that's turned out pretty well. And I feel like in the car world, a lot of these manufacturers have dreams of their own Lightning, their own charging network, their own secret sauce, which isn't built yet.
Which is going to slow them down. So that's the dream, as you heard Marques Brownlee mention. But now, this is where they all feel like Muppets, because when Elon Musk was busy working and investing and deploying an ungodly amount of money and cash to be able to build all of these networks and charging superchargers popping up literally everywhere, everyone were laughing. Everyone was saying Tesla are not able to provide like a balance sheet or to show that they're in profit for we all know that, right? As an investor, you should know that. So it was an embarrassment, quote unquote. But however, the company focused on creating, obviously, like amazing technology that we've never seen before. Let's not even get to autonomous driving. So they've been working on all of that. Basically, they've been investing. In fact, Tesla has been an investor. Okay, they were investing in the future. They were setting out the foundation. It's like before you start building a building, where what you got to focus on is the foundation, right? If you don't have a solid foundation, guess what? The building will collapse. So that's all they've been doing for years and years, just putting in the work, the sweat, putting in that top level work. And once they release their vehicles to be able to then start learning and to be able to deploy changes in shadow mode and all of this stuff, you can't compete, because they've got the foundation is set, and now they're just getting taller and taller and taller, aka the Burj Khalifa. Shout out to Dubai, if you get what I mean. But let's carry on.
If the long-term goal is to match the convenience of gas cars, then you want to eventually get the range all the way up to match the gas cars, and then build up enough electric chargers to be as common as gas cars. Now, I can see the range getting there eventually, but to build up all of these chargers to match how many gas stations
hell no, that takes a long time. Thank you.
There's no way you do that all yourself. So you might as well make it compatible with the ones that are already the most built out. I'm just saying. Anyway, okay, so there was an article on electric.
They didn't see the vision.
About someone at Ford, pretty high up, sort of throwing some shade at Tesla.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Things like the doors fit properly.
I bet they're gonna mention the roof.
About Ford cars, the plastics and other materials color match. The bumpers don't fall off. The roof doesn't come off when you wash it.
Yada yada yada.
Buyers will not have to make these compromises with Ford's electric vehicles. But see, what he's obviously leaving out, and what I see so often when talking about the electric cars coming from these other big manufacturers, is there is still compromise. It's not that compromise, but there is still compromise. Because the Mustang Mach-E, which I've driven and that I love and that I think is great, I think it's one of the most user-friendly and reasonable and well-thought-out electric cars to come out so far. That Mach-E, the entry-level model, goes 210 miles on a charge. And the fully max spec, best version they can possibly make, $60,000 Mach-E, goes 300 miles on a full charge.
Doesn't compare.
By the way, of course, none of them will do supercharging with Tesla's network. That is a compromise. And so guess what? Ford and many of the others, people have been choosing the Tesla a lot
all
lately,
day long.
I've noticed. And so that means you're right to use.
Just from the games alone that you can play in the Tesla, it just it just destroys it. The fact that you can just sit there and like and play with the steering wheel as if you're playing a real game, like it just smashed just that alone. And then the farting, where you can make every chair fart, and then that's not even me talking about the serious stuff that's in a Tesla. Just that alone destroys it. So I mean, to each their own, but when the facts are there, it's facts.
People are often picking the one with the great battery, with the performance and fun to drive stuff, and the tech
and notice I didn't even mention the batteries.
That's actually better built. It's just facts. There's a lot of people like me out there who would drive a super minimal, very plain car with not that many bells and whistles if it went 1,000 miles on a charge over the best built thing you could possibly make if it only goes 200 miles.
That makes sense.
Exaggeration, obviously, but still, that's the priorities that a lot of electric car buyers have right now because there are no chargers everywhere. So for all those advantages the big automakers have of being able to mass produce quality cars at huge scale with great materials, awesome designs,
nice
tight
color,
tolerances, and a ton of SKUs, they are still 3 or 4 years behind in the battery and drivetrain technology and the charger networks, which are enough for people to not really want to leave the gas cars that they know and love. And it's the reason I don't drive a Taycan or a Mach-E or an e-tron right now, and it's the reason that a Tesla feels like the only financially responsible version of a premium electric car as far as convenience goes.
And it feels like the only reliable as well. It feels like the only one that's reliable. Hence to why I believe a lot of people are able to overlook some of the mistakes with like, oh, the panels don't match, or this don't match, or there's a gap here, there's a gap there. People are able to overlook it because it's the only one on the market that's reliable enough to give you something that you can like, okay, cool. I know that if I go outside, I'm coming back not in 9 hours. I'm coming back home in time. It's the only one out there that can almost, I would say, guarantee that you'll make it back home. And even if in a couple of years time, but I'll just say this out there, in a couple of years time, even if you get drunk and you're not able to drive, it's the only one that reliably will get you home, okay, safely, period. And that's my mama, son.
Brings me to Tesla. Oh, you probably thought you were safe from this video, Tesla, but no, I drive one, which means I have to deal with all the upside and all the downside that comes with them, and I have some messages for you too. Dear Tesla,
Let's go.
This one
Let's
advantage
hear
that
it.
you have that's very real that we've talked about is eventually going to go away.
That's
right?
true. Gotta keep
Eventually,
innovating.
Tesla has gone all in on their battery technology and their drivetrains and their efficiency, and they're years ahead on that.
But hold on, Marcus. You want to know the crazy thing is? You want to know the crazy thing, Marcus? Brownlee here. For whatever reason, maybe you might be watching this video. I believe they honestly haven't gone all in. I believe that's just, we're barely scraping the surface right here. Okay, it's just the tip of the iceberg. That's what I genuinely believe, because if there's anything we've learned from Elon Musk from the PayPal days, and then and then the SpaceX and blah blah blah, there's always something that's hidden that he's working on. That it's not because it's hidden because like of, I don't know, secret agenda or anything. No, that's not kind of hidden I'm talking about, but hidden that will it will benefit everyone. Basically, it will benefit us. Okay, but something that is just, it's in the works. That's honestly what I believe. There's a lot of technology that we haven't yet been exposed to that they're working on, top secret. I guarantee it, that when it's released in a couple of years time, obviously, or maybe like deployed like bit by bit, that's when we're gonna be able to experience it. But yeah, man, but honestly though, absolutely an amazing video, so much to learn from. We're already at 30 minutes, but we're just gonna keep on going anyways, regardless, because it's all about value and analyzing and learning. So let's keep it going, man.
So they've been building their gigafactories, they've been building their electric motors and slapping a car on top, and that's almost like the least important part of the car itself, because when you drive it, it's so fun and it goes so far and you can plug it in so easily. So a lot of people out there buying their first electric car, getting a Tesla, that have never owned a Porsche or an Audi or a BMW or a Ford, aren't really super used to super high quality interiors. They're fine with the interior of a Tesla because it matches their priorities, and that's great. But eventually there's the other half of people who, when they spend $50,000, $70,000, $90,000
they want something
on
that's
a car,
leveled up,
expect a certain level of interior quality. Eventually, Tesla, you're going to have to match and invest in matching that quality of build and fit and finish. You know, I've had a lot of little...
Agree to disagree. I think they might have to match it with the things such as the Roadster. That, you know, if you're buying the Roadster, you expect some form of you expect a high level, basically, if you're buying a Roadster when it comes out eventually. But however, if you're buying like the base models or just the normal Tesla, I honestly believe this the same way, which it's kind of hard to believe because the other competitors right now, they have nothing to match a Tesla with. But I believe even if they did match a Tesla, good luck. But even if they did match a Tesla, people will still go for the Tesla, because by then, obviously, let's not forget about the brand they're building. Tesla does no advertising. Hear what I'm saying. Zero. They spend zero cash, zero money on advertising. Why? Because each and every single client or customer that purchases a Tesla, they become an evangelist. Okay, they almost become a prophet. They start talking and spreading the words. Word of mouth is key. They start telling everyone about it, how amazing the Tesla is. Friends, families, they jump in a Tesla, like it's crazy, it can do this, it can do that. They become an evangelist. Why? Because, as I told you, Tesla obviously don't do any marketing. They pay zero in that area, and Elon Musk is literally a tweet away. Just like we've seen him, Marques Brownlee, yourself tweet Elon Musk, he's a tweet away from just tweeting something ridiculous that everyone was just going to flock onto or give feedback if they think it's trash. So the power right there is just immense.
Random quirks with my Model S, things like wind noise, things like water in the taillights. Of course, there was that one drivetrain failure I had years ago. And then that Model Y that I reviewed here a little while ago this year.
See, things like this
has some weird quirks, some strange build quality flaws in a review car. But it's not just about me. Lots of people have had way more severe issues than me. And the rate of these issues with Tesla is still currently high enough that you eventually got to address it. Now, when is that point?
That's
when
true.
Should that focus shift? And it's hard to say. You know, obviously, Tesla's doing super well right now. Their investors are really happy. They continue to make big strides in battery. They're about to drop eventually a Roadster that'll do 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds.
Please, guys, don't overlook that. 0 to 60 in what did they say? 1.3 or 1.9? Hey, hold on, let's hear it.
In 1.9 seconds.
There we go, 1.9. I for 1 second I thought he said 1.3. The major difference between 1.9 and 1.3 is just astronomical. Okay, but 1.9, insane.
620 miles of range. Like, that took money to create, and it's crazy. I'm looking forward to that car so much, but it's also kind of a shame.
I thought I was the only one. He's looking forward to that car a ton.
That I feel like
imagine when it hits.
Know that car is going to have some build quality shortcomings, or at least some quirks, or some plastics, or some panel gaps. As much as I hate saying it, just because that's what we expect from every new production line from that Californian car company at this point. So here's my take. See this graph here? This graph is a little old. It's from 2016, but it still applies here. It's showing the minimum, maximum, and median range of electric cars out. Plug-in hybrids and gas cars. So electric cars are way lower than gas cars, as you can see, but they bump up a little bit every year as the technology improves. In 2020, the max is around 400. So maybe in a few years, when the Roadster finally drops with the max around 600 and the median is coming up with it because the tech lowers in price, I think when we eventually get to the point where the median range for an electric car at a certain price matches the median range of a gas car for the same price,
it's shut down.
That's when I would love to see Tesla take a little more investing in fit and finish and hit that last whack-a-mole of just build quality. Just finally focus on build quality. Like, you obviously still continue to invest in battery technology and drivetrains and all the stuff that makes Tesla. But yeah, eventually,
I mean, look at the interior. There's a steering wheel and there's a tablet. That's it. Steering wheel, tablet. Hence to why not only myself but everyone always says Tesla is literally a iPhone on wheels, okay, or a tablet on wheels, meaning it's just built for this era. Full stop. It's built for this era and the eras to come. So it's just, how can you compete like
in that department? And you're going to want to catch up in the department you're lacking in, which would hopefully put everyone on the same playing field in both respects. So there you have it. Now, there's a lot of other things I could rant about in the electric car world, from the naming schemes of these things to the software updates that they should all definitely get, to all the grills that they can definitely slowly get rid of, to these weird door handles they all feel the need to do. There's a lot happening in electric cars. But the bottom line is,
did you see how disgusting that was? Man had to press the button and then like curve his fingers like into it to be. That's just not nice. That is not cool. Press it and then
in electric cars. But the bottom line
is,
electric cars,
that's disgusting,
are coming, and they're coming fast. And they all, if they're gonna make it, they ought to all get better together in all of the ways where they struggle. That's basically it. Hope this helps. That's how I feel about it. Let me know in the comments below.
Guys, this video was absolutely awesome, as you guys can see. I'm gonna end it like this, okay? It seems like right now EVs, like, it's things of the movie. I remember when I was young and I was watching iRobot with Will Smith, and how ridiculous it seemed. Not ridiculous from my point of view as a child. From my point of view as a child, it was like, whoa, that is super cool. Like, that's the future. Like, I'm gonna be 80 years old when I see like electric cars that are driving themselves. Full level 5, okay, level 5 autonomy right there. Autonomous vehicle on the road. But however, that's not the case in my lifetime. In fact, less than my lifetime. Just in a few years, I believe. When you look outside on the road, everywhere there's going to be EVs, electric vehicles everywhere. For the simple fact that it took roughly just on the 13-year mark, but 13 years for the entire world, pretty much, okay, to go from riding on horses. Listen to what I'm saying. 13 years. Do the research if you don't believe me. 13 years for the entire world to go from riding on horses to riding on combustion engine vehicles. So the normal cars that we see today, 13 years, and that transition was made. Why? Because we realized that, you know what, although it's decent to ride on a horse, but it's not as safe as being in a metal box, essentially what a vehicle is, with wheels on it. But guess what? The range, we can go a lot further with a vehicle, obviously a car, than a horse, because when they get tired, hey, that's tired, boy. Man has to eat his carrots and refuel because the horse is tired. But it's not exactly the same for a vehicle, is it? Because when the vehicle quote unquote gets tired or out of fuel, guess what? You just pull up, refuel for a couple of minutes, in fact couple of seconds, then you're back on the road and you're able to do twice the journey once more that compared to what a horse would do. So I believe you get the gist, but the whole point of these videos, guys, is to bring value for you guys, and as an investor, to help you go further, and in fact to put more money in your pocket, essentially. So that's why I make these videos. Whenever you find something that you've learned from this video, comment it in the comment section down below. As always, if you find value in this video, be sure to destroy, not even gently tap, but absolutely destroy, demolish that like button. It honestly goes a long way. And obviously, I don't even have to tell you guys, the subscribe button is right there. Be sure to subscribe. As I mentioned in the beginning, Trading 212 will give you a free share. All you have to do is deposit £1 into your account, fund the account initially with £1, and they'll give you a share that's valued up to £100. But guess what? You initially have to fund that account with £1 to be able to get that initial share or free share that's valued up to £100. Okay, so that is everything for today. Be sure to check out this awesome video that you guys are going to see right up here and right down there. If you enjoyed watching this video, you're definitely going to love watching these two videos. The subscribe button is right there once more. But I do have to end it with this. For my loyal people who are watching, shout out to Singam, because this guy watches every single video till the end. I can't thank you enough. But I want you guys to comment in the comment section, electric vehicles. Okay, just comment in the comment section electric vehicle, and it'll let me know that you watched the video all the way up until this point. So I want you to comment EV, electric vehicles, that is, you see. In fact, nah, forget that. To show that you're super loyal, obviously watching up until this point, I want you to comment just this: dear electric cars. Just the same way you see it right there, dear electric cars, and then your normal comment that you're going to comment. This way it will let me know that you watched it all the way up until from the beginning till the end, so I know who's loyal and who's not, and I can, you know, I can just give, I guess, extra care to the people who go above and beyond to be able to support your boy Ronnie MP. As always, this Discord is the link for the Discord is in the description box down below, so be sure to join that as well. We're up like what 15 members now, which is insane. When I started it, I initially started it just for pretty much myself and to be able to keep stuff on the, you know, on the Discord app. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, so I'm gonna end it right now anyways, guys. By watching this video, you did not waste your time. Don't forget to tell your haters to get in line, and you, my friend, I will catch you on the next video. Peace out, much love, and